Hey everyone, and welcome to 366 2020. I am trying to watch 366 movies this year. Let's talk about 3 more. Impractical Jokers, the movie, is a movie version of the Impractical Jokers TV show, which airs on True TV. For those of you who might not know anything about the show, it stars 4 lifelong friends who pull practical jokes on each other, and members of the unsuspecting public. My background with the show is minimal at best. I've seen a few episodes of the show. It's always amused me, but I've never really sought out to watch it consistently. But having said that, this movie is at its best when the guys are playing practical jokes on each other. That stuff is generally funny. The problem is that the movie tends to go into these scripted segments, which are awkward and bad. These guys might be good practical jokers, but they are not actors. And all that stuff is pretty cringe-inducing. The film didn't take any lessons from a movie series like Jackass, where the movie's more about the friendship of the characters than trying to set up a running storyline. While I laughed along the way, the scripted scenes really kill the momentum of the movie. This is the very definition of a mixed bag. Three Identical Strangers is a documentary film. As the film opens, a guy is going into college and everyone seems to know him already, even though he's a freshman. But everyone's calling him the wrong name, and when he gets to his room, a person tells him, "No, you look exactly like this other guy who went to the school last year." To the point that they load up in a car and go meet this other guy, and it turns out these two are identical twins. This kind of happenstance meeting is newsworthy, so news stories are written about them. And it turns out there is a third brother who sees the news stories and says, "Oh my God, I'm looking into a mirror." And they find out that they are triplets. Because this story is incredible, they draw a lot of media attention, they become the toast of New York City. Of course, at a certain point, the boys become very curious about their birth family. And it's at that point where they begin to learn the nefarious reason that they were separated in the first place. As the film began, I started to think, how could the movie keep up the momentum it had? The first act of this movie has a blistering pace. It all comes at you very, very fast. And it doesn't keep up that momentum, but it does it for all the best reasons. The movie slows down because it starts to investigate the reason these triplets were separated. And it's a very dark path the film goes down, and the slowdown of pace adds to that. This is a compelling, heartbreaking, and unbelievable story. And the documentary film that wraps it all up is well told from start to finish. It's one of those films that makes you think, how could any of this happen? But it did, and there's a solidly built documentary to tell the tale. Blockers is the story of 3 high school girls who make a pact to lose their virginity at prom, and the parents that are trying to stop them. The parents are played by John Cena, Leslie Mann, and Ike Barinholtz. And the inclusion of Leslie Mann makes this feel a lot like a Judd Apatow film at times, but the film doesn't have the riff-based comedy of Judd's movies. And it is better for it. This is at times a very sharp comedy, and there were more jokes in the movie that hit for me than missed, but there were also a fair amount of jokes that did miss. This movie is not all gold, but it does tell a compelling story in a compelling way. I liked the relationship between the parents and the daughters. And John Cena is surprisingly funny in this film, and he has great chemistry with Leslie Mann's character. The outlier here for me is Ike Barinholtz. He got a little bit on my nerves as the film went on, but for the most part, it's a pretty good, if not entirely memorable comedy. And that is it for this episode. Have you guys seen any of these movies? I will see you down in the comments, and we'll see you next time on the next 366 2020. Thanks for watching.